our studio. Catch them all in Musetalks.
Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Muse Talks. I'm Charlie, your host for today's episode. Are you a recently graduated JC or poly student who is waiting to get into uni but you have some kind of concerns about it? So today we have invited two guests from NTU, Tiffany and Kevin, to discuss about this topic today.
I am Tiffany. I'm studying environmental engineering. I'm in year 1 and I used to be in River Valley High School.
Hello, I'm Kevin. We're both going year 2 lah. So I'm also doing environmental engineering with a second major in data analytics, and I was from Hwa Chong.
Ooh. Okay, so since y'all were from JC, right, what was the biggest change from JC to uni that y'all feel like?
Freedom.
Freedom? Why?
Yeah, we had this conversation on the bus.
Go
Yeah.
on.
Then we both said freedom because, I guess we're not at home all the time. And you're 24/7 in school with your friends.
So
So
you stay in hall, right?
Yeah, we're also roommates.
yeah,
Roommates.
Yeah.
I guess in the entire year, it was just me and my friends staying up all the way to 12 to study. Then we walk back to hall at 1 a.m. Then it's there's no one to control you in a way. And I would say the lecturers, they don't really care
They don't?
about your attendance somehow. It's more of whether you want to go.
Most, if not all, the lectures are recorded. So, it's good if, sitting down in the lecture doesn't help you. Then, because some people, they need to, slowly watch, then rewind. And then they process as they go. Because they cannot process that whole bulk of content in that 1 hour. So, if sitting in the lecture doesn't help you learn, then, don't go, just watch the lecture. Yeah.
Y'all can just stay in hall and just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Or if you have backlog, then there's no point in you going lecture because you don't even know the previous content. So you go for the lecture, it's wasting 1 hour. You might as well just stay in hall and then finish your backlog first before you learn the new content, I guess.
On one hand you have freedom, right? On the other hand, you need to have discipline. If you know what you need, then you need to do it. If you don't keep yourself accountable and study throughout the sem, then you're just gonna suffer when finals come.
So yeah, so it's strategic. If you want to score well, you have to go for lessons.
I mean, it's a given. Usually, you want to score well for normal stuff also, you just go for class, no man.
Yeah, lor.
In a way.
So ultimately it's you need to know what you are going to do with your freedom. Because if you just let it go past like that, then you're wasting your time lah. Yeah.
Since you mentioned hall, right? What are some of the benefits and disadvantages of staying in hall?
Okay, the disadvantage is we slack together. We will be we wake up in the morning, we're should we go for this lecture? Nah, we just go back to sleep. Because me and Kevin, we have quite a bit of commitments. So we have meetings or CCA until quite late, 10 plus.
10 plus.
Yeah, because our meetings and CCAs are usually at night for universities. So they start at 7 and onwards. So they can end 10 plus 11. Sometimes we have supper, right? Or we go outside to dance.
Oh my god.
Then we come back, hall is 12. Then by the time we sleep, it's 2 a.m. 3. Then our lecture is 9:30 in the morning. Both of us couldn't get up.
But what are benefits though?
Wow. You want to talk about benefits?
Benefits? Convenient lor, because NTU is very far from everything. In sem 1, I thought I could stay strong and just go home every day. But tired. Yeah. And then at first I would go to and from school by myself. And then I started asking my dad to pick me up from school at night. Especially after CCA. And then he also got tired of picking me up. So he was just stay hall lah.
I guess we can spend more time with your friends.
Yeah. But you don't have to, guys, I need to go home early because I need to catch the bus.
Yeah, you won't FOMO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the answer depends on who you are and what kind of hall you stay and where your social circle is. Because there are some people whose social circles are within hall, right? So they spend most of their time in hall. Then they have their own I like this, I don't like this about hall. But for us, hall is just a place to sleep.
Correct.
Yeah.
You want a fun fact
Yeah, what's a fun fact?
about me and Kevin?
Yeah.
in CAC orientation, we were in the same OG, right?
Yeah.
And then we found out that we were in the same course. Then we went to our school orientation and we were in the same OG again.
So
Plus-
you was in the same OG for like 2 orientations.
Yeah. Plus, right, we same course, same hall, same surname, same neighborhood. Same what?
I guess same interest.
Yeah, same interest. Everything same lah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
That's the backstory of me and Kevin.
So you're just like, okay, come, let's be friends. Because you're same OG for like
No,
2
actually,
orientations. You're like,
our
what?
first interaction was hella weird. Cause
Because she was late.
no, then like I was trying to like everyone was there already. Then like I need to, but I still need to introduce myself and like
Yeah.
know who is who, right?
Yeah.
Then I saw her and I was like, "You're Tiffany Lee, right?" Then she was
Oh
like,
my god.
"Oh
Not
my
this.
god, how do you know my surname?" And I was like, "Huh?" Because right, her
Yeah.
Telegram was Tiffany Lee,
Oh my
but
god.
she didn't realize. And then after that,
Yeah.
the Pratesh, like our someone our
Yeah.
someone, he was like, Tiffany Lee Chin Jie. And then she was like, how do you know my surname? But when you text, right, like it's right there, like her name is put as Tiffany Lee.
I was
It's not
so
even like you press then
confused.
like, oh, she's Tiffany. It's like right there.
I was so confused. I was like, how does he know my surname? I was like, drop the T now. Like, how do you know my surname? Then like, isn't it on your tally?
I was like, huh, what are you talking about?
Yeah, funny stories.
Okay, so what do you think is like the best way to like make friends in uni?
You have to join like orientations, all that, because that's when everyone is new and like they really really want to make friends, because nobody wants to be alone ma. If you start on the same like starting point as everyone else, it's a lot easier to make friends, because when people start forming their own friend groups already, like it's a bit harder to like how to say, you can become friends, but it's very hard to find like your group of people, because they really have their own groups, right? It's like if you want to join their group, it takes like very specific circumstances lah.
Oh.
Yeah, if you want to form your own group, it's harder because you'll be meeting people from like everywhere, unless you are lucky enough to meet like a group of people who still don't have their own group of people. Then you become like each other's like
friend
group,
thing,
like
ah.
main
Yeah.
friend group.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got lucky enough that like we met at the first orientation we went to, and then everyone there vibed so well that we are still a friend group now lor. Yeah.
Don't only go for your faculty orientation. Like, join other orientations to like meet people not from your course. I think that's a very good way to find new people. Other than that, I guess join CCAs or
I think especially like organizing committees, because you have to work together. So that's how like you make friends, I guess. Because if you join like interest clubs, right? I mean, you can make friends through there, but it will take some time, because like for example, if you are in dance, right? And then you're not exactly forced to interact until you're preparing for like a performance or something like that ma. So like you just have to put yourself in situations where you get to interact with other people.
So like, can you tell me about like what are like your highest and lowest moments in uni so far?
I guess in Sem 1, we had a lot of highs.
Oh,
I think because we were just fresh into uni. So like a lot of us, we tried to make a lot of memories in Sem 1. Like a lot of school events. So we just went for a lot because our friends performed there. Or like they took part in it. Then we just took this opportunity to bond as a friend group.
Like it's just when we study together, then firstly it helps to have people studying the same thing, because if you don't understand, can ask. Even if like you are studying completely different things, right? Like it's nice to have someone there, because firstly accountability partners, and then like you get to have fun together lah, because you need to take breaks all that ma. Or like for our friend, she was very busy, right? Then like we'll go buy food for her, that kind of thing. Like it's a very supportive and wholesome environment. Yeah.
If you study with people of different course, like it's quite fun because if you're bored of your module, you just go disturb someone else. Then like you're like, can you explain your module to me? Then it's
Tell
like,
me all about art history.
yeah, tell me all about computing.
Or like the time Sherwin was doing some like he was drawing on the board some like
Yeah.
governance
What?
in Singapore, that kind of
Political
thing. I don't know.
politics thing. Yeah, then he was like, you wanna hear some political concept thing? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, clearly like nothing went in.
Yeah, nothing went in. He just yeah. And then
Okay, back to work, guys.
okay. Thanks for the break and go back. We also celebrate festivals together.
Oh,
Funny.
Oh,
We celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival.
Then like I think like Deepavali, our friends brought Muruku or like birthday celebrations.
Oh.
Yeah, we took her to
Wait, that was
Flower
the
Dome.
funniest. That was the funniest
Yeah.
ever.
Tulip Mania.
The entire day was damn funny, by the way.
Because that day we were supposed to have like something in school together. So I was like, the plan right was, hey bro, like we finish already, we go eat. Then I will just like string her along and make her follow me all the way to Gardens by the Bay. And then like she'll be like, what are we doing here? I was like, happy birthday. But then our thing got cancelled. So
why?
she was fully planning to spend the day alone at Orchard because
Yeah.
nobody texted her about birthday plans.
Because I was like, I would just go Orchard to like, but the thing is, I didn't want to go out. I have no motivation to go out alone. Then I saw our other two friends going Orchard. Then I'm like, how about I just go eat lunch with them? Then that serves as a motivation for me to leave the house. Then I just like spent the entire day at Orchard. Like I was fully planning to do that. After a while, Kevin was like, how about we go get lunch? Then I'm like, bro, I'm like on the way to Orchard already. Then she was like, you know what? Let me just spill the entire plan to you. Then I was like, why would you do that? Why?
There was no other option.
Yeah.
What are like some of the lows though?
That time water resources.
Oh my gosh.
I
Why?
don't know. We just couldn't like understand, and then we were like crying.
Oh my gosh. I
It was
remember
like the
we spent
specific energy or
we
something.
spent 2 weeks on one tutorial.
Why?
Yeah, we were like, what the hell is this? And then we were like fully like crying already.
Oh no.
Then like my boyfriend texted his friend who is like a senior in our course.
Uh-huh.
Hey, can you send some notes? And then we were like, oh my god, thank you, girl. And then when she said right, I looked at it, I was like, I still don't understand.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
no.
But we figured it out. We figured it out.
We got 79 out of 80 for that quiz.
Okay.
Oh my god, that 1 mark got me, bro.
Like, it's
Oh
damn funny
my
because
gosh.
there were like a few quizzes, right, where we fully understood the content, but we got brought down by careless mistakes. And
Oh,
it will be
no.
like careless mistake for the same question. And like that one paper, right, we made different mistakes, but we got the same answer. So I also don't know
What?
how. So like we both got the same wrong answer
Yes.
by through different methods for the same question. And then after the quiz, we were like, you got this number, right? Yeah, same.
And we just
Okay,
submitted.
correct already. then go back, and then we redid the questions because like they only wanted the answers, like final answers. So if we are going to fight for marks, we need to show our working. So like we just made our exam working neater. Then we do got careless mistakes, yeah.
And our mistakes were so different. I was so mad, bro. Like one bracket.
Just one bracket.
In the GC, it was one
Could have
bracket.
gotten the full mark flex, but 79 is good enough.
We
So
were,
your lows come from one bracket.
we were completely about to fight them because that one answer was 18 marks.
What? 18 marks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you don't look at the working, right, it's 18 marks. So we were like fully geared up to fight. Like that tutorial, right, we were geared up. Eh.
When we went to the tutorial, the tutor was like, so what do you think you deserve? If you were the marker, what will you give? Then we just 79.
Oh my
Okay, if you think it's reasonable, then sure, go ahead. Then we're like, huh? It was that easy.
Yeah. We came up with like 10 reasons why we should get.
But I think for year one, like the lows aren't that low lah. Cause year one, like they don't let us overload all that. Then like it's like, pretty chill. Like, I think
No,
one of the
bro.
lows, oh my god, coding.
No, Sem 1 was quite bad. Because you weren't staying in hall.
Oh yeah, I wasn't there to
Yeah,
witness it.
because
Yeah.
she wasn't in the hall, right? So a lot of our lows were like at 11 p.m. onwards, where we go like bonkers.
Oh
Like
my
we will start
gosh.
thinking like, oh my gosh, this module is so difficult. Like I feel like everyone broke down.
Yeah.
Like in the finals
Why?
period, right? At least I think everyone in our friend group broke down at least once because we like damn overwhelmed.
Do you have like any advice for like students that are gonna enter uni or like are really gonna enter?
Take advantage of your student status. Go and get all the student deals. And then like
you're right.
You got any questions about like anything, right? Just ask.
Just
don't
email.
paise it. Because right, to other people, you are just a student. You don't know anything. Like just like yeah, I'm just a girl. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Just a
Can you
girl.
explain to me? Yeah. Because before uni, I was like very scared to approach people all that. And then after a while, I realized, oh, it's not that deep. Then like, yeah, just be more shameless and like whatever you feel like doing, right? Like go for it. Yeah.
What about you, Tiffany? Any advice?
Find a nice group of friends. Genuinely though, like I feel like if you don't have support in uni, it's quite hard to get by. Because when you're alone, right, you cannot account for yourself unless you're very disciplined, which I don't know who is that disciplined to be able to like get your task done. You see, right, even both of us, we account for each other, right, but we still get backlog. Like how? Why?
2 mods,
We only had two finals,
serious
by the
mods.
way.
Huh? Only have 2?
Yeah, so it was like only 2 mods that we had to like constantly study for, and we still got backlog. I don't know how.
And like last sem was like 4 finals.
I had
No,
3.
she had 3. Because she exempted from math. Oh my god.
Exempted from math?
Yeah, because you can exempt if your grades are good.
Oh.
For A-levels.
Do well for A levels.
Try your best, but please don't stress yourself out, okay? JC is a tough time.
Actually, right, about highs and lows, JC was my lowest.
JC was your lowest?
I'm
Of
going
course.
up now.
Same.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so I feel like people that are entering uni, especially if you're from JC, I cannot say anything for poly because like we're not from there, so we don't know the jump. Not care about how you do in JC. It's more of like you're starting anew in uni. Like just do your best in uni, and I think it's doable. Like for me, like my physics, I got A in physics for last sem, and in A levels, I'm pretty sure I got C or D. I don't remember. It was so bad. But the thing is, the concepts were the same in JC. And even in uni, right, there's more content than H2 physics. But I still did better. And I learned the syllabus within like 13 weeks because one semester is 13 weeks. So it like kind of confuses me. Yeah, so.
Your grades aren't that serious. Like even if you don't get 90 RP, like or if you don't do like super well, right, you can still get to uni one.
That's
Like,
me.
Yeah, once you get into uni, right, you realize actually it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah,
Like,
actually.
Yeah,
Coming from experience.
like even like I think I did well, and like on hindsight, like it didn't matter that much. Yeah, like I grind so hard, I still ended up in the same uni as someone who like struggled a lot more than I did in terms of academics. So like if you are not like super good, right, it doesn't matter also. Like you can still do it one.
You can still improve.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world lah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we're running out of time. But before we wrap up, right, we prepared a mini segment called This or That, which is like Would You Rather kind of.
Oh no,
But
this is gonna be damn
basically-
funny.
basically, right, we have 5 pairs of this or that, and then basically you just have to like answer, would you rather have this, would you rather have that, and then explain why, just very briefly, okay? So are you ready?
Okay, let's go.
Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Let's go.
Let's go! First up, lecture halls or tutorial rooms?
Tutorial room.
I want to say lecture hall so I can sleep long.
You can see in tutorial room also. You put the chairs beside each other.
But
and then you just lie
as in,
down.
cause my idea of tutorial room is like our math tutorial room.
Yeah, if you need to sleep, you just put the chair beside each other and you lie down.
Yeah, that's true.
So why do you pick? Why you pick lecture hall?
Cause my mind didn't register tutorial room as the art tutorial room. Cause I referred that as a study room.
Oh, like a classroom
Yeah,
kind of
cause
thing.
tutorial room to me is like I go there for tutorials, which is like the last thing that I would want to do.
The next question, right? Would you rather have group projects or individual projects?
Individual.
Wow, so immediate
Don't need to even ask.
Group
Plus,
mates,
like I feel like group projects take a lot of energy from me. Like needing to coordinate with other people is like
Yeah, because everyone is busy, right? Usually meeting time is like 9 p.m, 10 p.m, that kind. Wow.
Wow.
or even
If I did
12.
it individually, right, I could have done it earlier, then go sleep earlier.
So the next question, would you rather have theory or practical lessons?
I would like practical. I like practical more.
Practical is fun.
Yeah.
My theory is like you just sit there. You want
Actually,
to
theory can be fun.
You need to have both lah.
Yeah. Theory can
Especially
be
for
fun.
STEM.
I guess if it's practical plus a bit of theory, That would be the best.
Okay, then next one, right? Would you rather have like continuous assessments, which is like GPA, that kind, right? Or like final exam, like O level, A level?
I kind of like GPA.
Because like it's like more spread out, is it?
Like how well you do, right, isn't determined by that one time gauge of your capabilities and your understanding, blah 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 lah. Cause like for GPA, right, like the good thing is like this is our first time experiencing GPA system lah. The good thing is if you don't do that well in sem 1, then you can pull up again in sem 2. Like you can strive for like improvement. I think for like A level, that kind of format is very overwhelming.
Would you rather study in hall or study in study areas?
Hall got fridge.
Yeah, our hall
The
got fridge.
the fridge, the important part.
Yeah,
But I
got
like
drinks
studying
and
in
snacks.
study room more
Oh.
for me.
Why?
Cause
Balance.
it's like I need the friends, but when I need alone time, I can just take another table to myself.
Oh.
Then it's like
you can just
stonks.
swap in between which one you
it's
want lah.
stonks. Yeah, but if I go back hall, it depends lah. I only can study in hall after 11 p.m. Like this is one specific time. Yeah.
For me, it's just if I need to go out and then I'll just like stay outside the whole time. It's all about convenience. Yeah.
So like if you're already in hall, then you just study in hall.
Yeah.
If you're outside, then study.
Yeah. Like I don't like to shift throughout the day. Yeah.
That's all the time we have for this episode. Thanks for coming by, you guys. I know you are very busy, but legit, thanks for coming. Yay! And to the audience, right, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this episode. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!